Okay, number 14 says sine of pi. So if I have sine of pi, let's kind of graph this. If this is 0 pi, which is also 2 pi, 1 pi is going to go halfway between, correct? 1 pi. And let's see if you are paying attention to the quadrantals talked about on this page over here. All of that. So at pi, what's our order pair right here? -1 what? -1, 0. And then it was also mentioned, sine is the x value or the y value? Sine is a y value. So what is a y value coordinate of that? 0, done. And that was already on the unit circle, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go on to number 18. Now we're looking at cosine of pi over 6. So at cosine pi over 6, thinking about our unit 6. Pi over 6 is right here. And we know pi over 6, is that 30 degrees or 60 degrees? 30. So we know opposite of 30 is what number? 1. And then we know our hypotenuse has to be 2, so that makes our longer leg radical what? Radical 3. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So from this angle, the adjacent is what value? Radical 3 over hypotenuse is 2. So now let's go to our unit circle and find pi over 6. So here I have my pi over 6. I'm going to go ahead and make my coordinate. And we said pi over 6 cosine is 3, radical 3 over 2. Okay, are we good with that piece? We don't know the y yet, but you will eventually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this value and go horizontally right here. If I translate to the left, what is our cosine value now becoming? Negative. Negative root 3 over 2. And then from there, if I go down, I'm going to land at 7 pi over 6. Is everyone good with that? Okay? When I land at 7 pi over 6, is my x value changing from negative root 3 over 2? No, leave that alone. The sine value, again, you'll find later. Now from here, let's go ahead and translate to the right. If I go to the right, I land where? 11 pi over 6. So now that negative radical 3 over 2 becomes what? Positive. Could I translate that exactly onto my degree mode? Yes, we can. All right, let's move on. Now I'm going to go in order. Let's do cotangent next. Cotangent of 180. So we have 180 is right here. 180, so I'm jumping from degree to radian. And we know this value is -1 comma 0, as mentioned on number 14. If tangent is opposite over adjacent, cotangent must be adjacent over the opposite. And we did mention, back on the first page, was it on the first page or was it on this one? Yeah. So x is cosine, x is also adjacent, y is sine, y is also opposite. So with that said, my adjacent is my cosine. What value is on my cosine? Negative what? -1 over, the opposite is 0. Can I divide it by 0? That's going to be undefined. All right, let's go on to number 10. On number 10, it says pi over 3. So let's go to pi over 3. It's going to look something like this. Is pi over 3 are 30 degrees or 60 degrees? Okay, your notes. Pi over 3 is 60. Opposite of 60 is radical 3. That makes our hypotenuse 2 and remaining 1. And our secant is hypotenuse over the what? Is it opposite or adjacent? Look at your notes. Adjacent. So we know our hypotenuse is 2. My adjacent is 1. So it's just simply 2. Okay, now let's go to number 13. Cosecant at pi over 4. Let's draw our pi over 4. Okay, Dylan, pi over 4 is how many degrees in degree mode? 45. So it'd be 1 root 2. And cosecant is hypotenuse over what, deuce? What's the ratio? Hypotenuse over what on the cosecant?
Over opposite.
Opposite. So we know our hypotenuse is root 2. and our opposite is 1, so that's simply radical 2. I'm hoping to simplify the radical. Let's see if number 17 works out. On number 17, we have our tangent. So let's draw our 60 degrees. Okay, Maya, what goes on the opposite of 60?
30, or wait, 1.
Oh, opposite of 60 would be
2.
radical 3. That's okay. So 1 root 3 and 2. But root 3 is on the opposite of 60. Tangent is opposite over what? Opposite over adjacent, very good. So my opposite is root 3 over the adjacent 1, and that happens to be just root 3. So I want to do a problem where we have to simplify the radical. Okay, having a radical on the bottom is considered improper. So let's actually do number 12 also. Okay, on number 12, let's draw our triangle. Here I have pi over 6. All right, Pen, pi over 6 is how many degrees? 60. That's the other one. 30, so it'd be 1, root 3, and 2. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Oh, that one's not going to work out either. Radical 3 over 2. That one did not simplify the radical. So let's try number 5. I'm going to do a problem until we rationalize at some point. Do we have another 60 on this one? Yeah? All right, Annie, what number goes on the opposite of 60 again? Radical. I know you're looking at the order, right? 1, root 3, and 2. Okay? So then we have 1 and then 2. Okay, cosecant, canon. It is hypotenuse over the what? Very good. Yes, this is going to work out. So my hypotenuse on this one is 2 over root 3. Having a radical on the bottom, is that considered proper? We have to, what was that word called, starting with the R? Rationalize. Some of you guys like to say radicalize. I get it. So we know our bottom, what number pops out? 3 pops out. 2 root 3. Looking at the whole numbers 2 and 3. Can I further simplify that? Nope. So now let's go to our chart at 60 degrees. So at 60, no, actually that's cosecant. Never mind, I thought it was cosine. All right.